Man, I had to take the weekend off. Heath went down to APA breed days. Once Game Catcher gets back in here, we'll find out. We'll get a full report on APA breed days down in Greenville, Tennessee. But I was supposed to go, but I got back from Montana. I extended my trip a couple days. Game Catcher wants back in. I knew he couldn't stay away. So yeah, so I extended my trip out there a couple days. We went out and did the memorial service for Larry Anderson. And there's a couple pups out there that came out of my stuff. So can you hear us, Game Catcher? Hallelujah. We've been ripping on you bad. We can't hear you.
Unmute yourself.
You have muted thyself. Put your reading glasses on, Game Catcher. So you can see.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there he is. Mr. Instagram reel.
Better late than never.
Mr. TikTok, Game Catching Heath Hyatt is in the house.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, no, so I extended a couple days, and then I got back on Tuesday, and I thought, man, if I head out to Tennessee, I may come home to the locks change all my crap in the yard, and Axel will probably bite me. My wife's pit bull, because he won't remember who I am. So yeah, I'm heading out of here in a couple of days. Go down to Uncle Earl's and do some hog hunting in northern Louisiana, and keep the train rolling. Hey, I got something to show you guys. Stand by.
I really want to go to Uncle Earl's.
So the new gear.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, nice. We got a new shirt. Terrible model, but a great shirt.
Seth,
we need a mannequin. Like, we need a mannequin.
Chris said this is for me. Oh, he's rocking the Speed Dog Houndsman XP logo. Yo,
hey,
is that chasing a weasel? Is that what that is? That's a weasel dog.
There he goes. Chris is rocking. He's rocking a Houndsman XP. This is Fair Chase logo on one shirt, and then he's rocking the Houndsman XP Sighthound logo on the other. I'm a little biased, maybe, but I think that's the best Houndsman XP logo around. A Saluki chasing a weasel.
Mm-hmm.
That ought to be a good one.
Yeah. Yep. Coming soon to our new shop. Hey, we're running I already made the announcement on my podcast that dropped on Monday. So I'm kind of out of the loop here because I'm getting dressed. I'm peeling layers here. But go back and listen to Monday's drop on Sacred Pursuit if you want to get in on a cool giveaway.
Yes, I enjoyed that episode, the Sacred Pursuit episode. I like to get out of my wheelhouse. Our IT guy, Shane, he makes those cool the reels that have the audio clips, and I really like those. And he came in the house. He said, "Did you listen to that Sacred Pursuit episode?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did." He's like, "That was a really good one." And I was like, "Yeah, it was." So
who told you that?
It's Shane.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Because he listens to all the episodes to make those clips, and he was like, "That was a really good one, dude." So yeah, there's a lot of great productions here at Houndsman XP. It's not to pat ourselves on the back too much, but I enjoy listening to the show as a fan as much as I do as an employee.
Well, that's what the Point Blank's all about. Just kind of recap what we've been talking about and go back and hit those high points and encourage people, shame people, whatever we got to do to go back and listen to those. If you haven't listened to them, I mean, if you're a coon hunter and you don't see a coon dog on the front, I'm telling you, we're still talking about stuff you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a big game hunter and you see a coon dog, we're still talking about stuff that's interesting and fun to talk about. So, and nobody talks about sidehound stuff except Seth.
I haven't even talked about that in a while. We talked about python dogs last time, buddy.
Don't get any cooler than that.
It was that was a very fun episode. I could not believe how much fun that was to record. And a lot of times when you record an episode, you'll be recording and then you'll hit that pause button or you're done with the recording. And then afterwards, you'll sit there and keep talking to the guest outside the recording. And a lot of times a guest kind of will relax or whatever and talk more after the recording's ended. But one thing that I felt was there is that we didn't do that at all with Python Cowboy. That we laid everything on the line in the recording. He was super duper cool and natural in the recording. And I mean, he answered everything I had and more. And he was really fun, energetic guest. And me and Chad were just having a ball. I could not believe how fun that sounds. I mean, I really want to go experience that straight up. It's just, yeah, it was a blast. So thanks, Python Cowboy. That was a great time, buddy. And there's many more to come.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, by the time this airs, I will have already been on the road with Chad, gathering up some really rad new content as well. So I'm really excited for that. And
are you still talking about Python Cowboy? I had to jump up.
That episode was so fun. You missed it.
No. Well, I missed the episode, but I listened to it. I was listening to it on a flight. I was flying to Montana and listening to it. I flew out there the day it dropped. And so I had some lady sitting next to me, and I was over there. I was sitting right next to her, just laughing my butt off. And she's asked, after I got done, she's like, "What in the world were you listening to?" It's like, I was listening to a couple guys talking to the Python Cowboy.
Yeah, I was telling Heath, it was just fun that a lot of times you have this natural banter after the recordings ended, and that one, it was all on the recording. It was over and we were all just like, "Oh man,
drained.
Thanks." Drained,
sweating, needing to rehydrate.
Yeah, it was great. And I was while I was in that vein, I guess there's going to be a lot of cool stuff in the pipeline soon. And you were talking about Uncle Earl's. I've always wanted to go there and experience that. I won't be able to make it this year, but I am very excited to see, quote unquote, air quotes, traditional pig hunting with dogs. That's coming up. And I'm really excited to see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Chris, is that where you were at when you met Corey?
Corey Daly?
Yeah.
When? I was in Louisiana when I met him. Uncle Earl's. I'm headed out to Uncle Earl's. Uncle Earl's is going on while we're recording this podcast. I need to get down there. It's like Daytona Beach spring break bike week or something for hog hunters in northern Louisiana. And
Okay.
Yeah. So I know Ed Barnes has been there all week. He's like posting pictures of all this food and all this other stuff that's going on. This thing runs a full week and maybe more than a week, because I think they had a kickoff concert last Friday night, and that's when the party kicked off, and it'll just run all through the week, all the way into Saturday. So I'm going to catch it on the tail end. We'll see how tough they are, because we'll see if they're still partying hard by the time I get there on Friday. So
I was going to say, it sounds like a party. Sounds like something I really need to be a part of.
Absolutely. I'm going to go experience it and see if I want to. I don't know if I can hang anymore for the full week.
Dig deep, my friend.
Yeah.
Dig deep.
Yeah. We'll find out.
I feel like I could.
I'm sure you could. There was a day when I could too. It's like 9:00 and I'm looking for some place to go to, the first available place to go to sleep.
Yeah, I felt like that was kind of me, but I feel like the weather.
That was you in Texas at the Terrier Trials.
I was going to say, I agree.
Nighttime pig hunt, and you're over there like, I'm sleepy.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like
9:30. I'm in bed. Sorry, guys. I'm out.
Yeah, Rigo's a champ. He was up there all day, and then he's like, "We're gonna go out all night." And I agree. By midnight, I was like, "I'm toast, dude." And he's like,
he was
around.
a beast.
I was like in the back seat. Yeah. One time I was hunting, and man, I fell asleep. I was with Michael Sula. It was freaking 1 a.m. I passed out asleep. We jumped a hog. Dogs bail out and get after the pigs. I had to wake up, and I was in that deep REM sleep. So when I woke up, I was just oh, where am I? What year is it? What galaxy are we in? And then they catch the pig, and Michael's all hooting and hollering and jump out of the truck, all running out there. And I'm just like stumbling around like a zombie trying to get my feet under me. It was crazy. But yeah, Michael's making fun of me. He's like, do you need a pillow, princess? And I was like, you know, like,
we were bear hunting one time and riding down the road, and I fell asleep, and I had my leg kicked up on the, like, almost on the dash, and my foot fell asleep, and we got a rig strike. This was out in Montana or Idaho. We got a rig strike, and we'd been up since early in the morning, and I couldn't hang, and I was sleeping, and my foot fell asleep, and we got a rig strike, and Larry's like, get the dogs out. I get out of the truck, and my foot is dead asleep. I mean, one of those deals. So I'm like drunk, hanging on the bed of the truck, trying to get down the side of the truck. My foot won't work. It was, oh my gosh. If only somebody would have been videotaping that would have been a highlight reel. That would have been a highlight reel for sure.
Stumbling to let dogs out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you get that rig strike, and Larry saw the track going up the mountain and stuff, and he's like, wake up, you know, and he didn't have to wake me up, but I step out of the truck, and I realized my whole leg is just dead. So now I'm hopping and hanging.
Just got a stump. Yeah. Yeah. The first time I had a dead, like a sleep leg like that, it was an alarm clock. My alarm clock woke me up, and I jumped out of bed. Same thing. I just face planted. The leg doesn't work. So you trying to scamper after dogs is, yeah, I can imagine that was hilarious.
Yeah. That goes right into, too bad Chad isn't here, man. I mean, he's busy. I know what he's got going on, but, that falls into the half-ass houndsman category right there. You know, you can't hang, you fall asleep in the truck, then you get out and you can't let dogs go because you got a dead leg that's just asleep, falling, slobbering all over yourself. That is a half-ass houndsman for sure. Yep. Oh man. Heath, what you been up to?
I'm so busy that I don't even know what day it is. Between working, like we're shorthanded and working, and then this week, I'm putting on the tactical tracking class that.
Oh, that's right.
That I've copied from Jeff. I took it from Jeff, and we're doing that. So I've got 22 guys in with dogs and running them through a 4-day course. So that's kept me really busy. Of course, we were in Tennessee this past weekend. We went down to the APH breed days. APA.
Hey,
I don't know why.
Yeah. I don't, because it's MPHA and
it's confusing. It's so many A's, H's.
Well, you got people calling APA breed days plot days, and you got MPHA guys calling it. I used to call it APHA days too, and it's like it's not APHA days; it's just APA. Yes. Yeah, they get all defensive about it.
But had a good time. Seen some people that I hadn't seen in a while, and met some new people. It's always great. So yeah, we went down Saturday. Sunday, I don't even know what I did. And then, I worked on the PowerPoint for this week. And then this week we're pretty much daylight till dark tracking. And that's about it. And then this week,
I got a couple questions.
All right.
You got to tell me, did you pick that Walker dog in the show?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Oh, I thought for sure that you would have.
I was going.
No wonder nobody will talk to him and take one of our decals after he picks a Walker at breed days.
I'm gonna tell you, that was that was a young dog, wasn't quite a year old. Very fine looking dog. I mean, very fine looking dog. There was 6 dogs that ended up going up for the best of the show. Not all of them were you could have reached in there and picked either one, any of them, and made a good decision. That's how close it was. I really went it down to the confirmation that I was looking at, and I'm very good. I'm a big proponent of structure, and if you start breaking it down, the Walker was a little bit straighter in the rear end than I would have liked. That was it. but very, 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 very nice looking dog. And it hurt me, Chris Powell.
I knew it
hurt me not to pick that dog. So, the girl, she's got a bright future. There was a little plot puppy there. Jerry Price had a pup. It was about 6.5 months old. Oh man, fantastic! I told him I'd take that dog home with me.
There's a plot
puppy. Yep.
Looked really?
Good. Mm-hmm. Good dark eye. Good hanging ear. Good color. Brindled up dog. Very nice dog. He's got a bright future with that dog. And then, of course, Katie. She had her male and female, and then the male, her pup, which is just right under 2. I call it a pup. The brother was showing against her, and when they put those both, and I didn't know, but when I seen both of those dogs, I'm like, those dogs are out of the same litter. Like they were that close. So no, they were some really nice dogs. I mean, kudos to everybody that went and showed. Some young girls were showing, that's what you want to see in the sport is those girls out there, and they were showing those dogs, and they had really good looking dogs too. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I was honored to be able to do that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And this weekend we're going down to Charleston, South Carolina.
There you go.
With Freedom Hunters to do the Jim Shockey golf tournament. Everybody can go online and bid and put stuff in if they want to contribute to Freedom Hunters. But yeah, so we're going down and we're going to rep Houndsman XP with the Freedom Hunters this weekend down there.
That's a good crowd too. That's a Jim Shockey Classic is what they call that down there. Freedom Hunters raises a lot of the money that they need to put on these events for veterans all year long. I talked about it on the podcast. I'm always talking about it, but it's real easy to find information. I got a notification did you get a notification on the auction, the online auction?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I actually sent it to everybody at work too. So I don't know if they're bidding on anything or doing anything, but yes.
Seth, did you get one?
I need to check my emails. I've been so out of the loop with jury duty.
Yeah, I'll send it to you to make sure you've got it, but share it around. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff on there. There's aim points, EOTech, guns, knives, anything that's outdoor equipment. It's probably on there, and it's real easy to find. If you go to freedomhunters.org and just find the link for the live auction for the Jim Shockey Classic, you'll have access to all of it.
Send it to me.
Yep. I sure will, because actually, by the time this podcast comes out, it'll be too late to bid. But
yeah.
Oh well.
And then
you missed it. Too bad for you. You haven't been paying attention to Freedom Hunters website. Now you missed out on some good deals.
Yeah. And then after this weekend, turkey season comes in, and I would like not to have to go nowhere for a couple of weeks. That's where I'm at in my mind. I just want to go to the woods. I just want to go to the woods and camp out and chase some turkeys. Me and Toby have already been out scouting. We went out one day and spent pretty much half a day out, covered about 6 miles. Didn't find anything reassuring. And then this morning, where we're training, which is an undisclosed location, they were hammering. I mean, they were blowing the tops out of the tree. It was 22 degrees. Like, it was freezing.
Yeah.
And they were just hammering and hammering. I'm like, oh my, y'all are killing me. Y'all are killing me.
I was listening to him hammer here this morning. It was 21, 22 degrees. So.
Yeah.
I've never turkey hunted. We have awesome turkey hunting here, and I've just never done it. And I need to.
Don't you have to draw a tag in New Mexico to turkey hunt?
Nope. You can. It's over the counter. Yep.
What do you have there?
We have Rio Grande and Miriam's.
Okay. And Miriam's. So you can get a 51.
Let me make sure on that before I get too crazy. I'm not a bird nerd. I like rats better.
Weasels.
Yeah.
Weasels are red.
Rats.
Those
Okay,
wieners-
yeah. So New Mexico has 3 species of wild turkey: the Merriam's, the Rio Grande, and the Gould's. All 3 in the state. This is directly from the New Mexico Game and Fish website.
Well, which one do you have to draw a tag for?
I'm not sure because I'm not a turkey hunter.
Find this out, Seth. I got a bucket list.
So you'd be real sad trying to hunt behind my house, because if you came out behind my house to turkey hunt, you'd need to walk about 100 miles to find them. But this is the first year that, the same sentiment you have with turkey hunting. That's how I am with javelina hunting. That's our turkey, really. I mean, here where I'm at, it's there. This is the first year I haven't been able. I have the tag, and I'm just so busy. It hasn't even crossed my mind. So the sentiment you have, where you just want to go out and be in the woods, that's my favorite thing about javelina hunting. I have a 3-month or 2.5-month season. And it's just so nice to go out in the desert and just relax, and just enjoy being out in the desert. And they're so elusive. They're so hard to find. And so it really is a hard hunt. And I just love it. It's just so fun to be out there putting boot leather down in that quiet, empty desert and try to jump on those stinky little suckers. It's pretty hard. Yeah, they're for an animal that's black, you'd be amazed how hard they are to see. They're like this mottled kind of gray color.
Oh, yeah.
And they blend in perfectly in like dead brush, which is where they spend a lot of time hiding. And they're only 45, 50 pounds. They're not very tall. So it's very hard to glass them, because any grass 3 feet tall and they're gone. You will never see them. So it's a really rewarding, really fun, but I've just been too busy. It's a real bummer. Season ends soon.
My goal was to spend, I took off a week to hunt, and then my regular days off, and I'm trying to keep that schedule open for the first couple of weeks. So if I don't tag out or I don't hear any, I never tag out. Let's just put that out there. I never tag out. I usually try to kill 2, and then the third one I usually don't, or I'll go with somebody and try to help call them one in. But I haven't tagged out in the last 3 years. I haven't.
Virginia still allows 3 turkeys.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's a lot.
I found that turkey hunters are like turkey hunters. I think that's kind of one of the reasons I kind of backed away from it, is that everyone I know that likes turkey hunting, they just like live, eat, sleep, breathe turkey hunting in the springtime. So I'm like, I don't need another hobby that I'm just totally devoured by. You know what I mean?
I was that guy. I used to be that guy. I live right here. I live in the original release sites for the state of Indiana. And then turkeys just blew up here.
Why?
It was just habitat.
Yeah.
It was a habitat deal. And we were a destination location. Toxie Hayes from Mossy Oak used to come up here and hunt, and Will Primos. And, I'm actually in a Mossy Oak video from like 1998 or something, that with Toxie, because I took him turkey hunting a couple times. So it was just a destination place. And I don't know. I've done it. I did it for years, but I'm kind of over it. If I've got one hammering back in the back of my place, it's like, dude, you need to get whacked.
What did you love about it? What did you love about it?
Well, first, I really like the challenge of it, because it's something that I didn't grow up with, and just the whole part of it. But being out there in the morning and hearing them gobbling, and then, man, if you've ever had a gobbler come in on fire, just spitting and drumming and puffed up, and you've got him fooled, and it's crazy. It's, you've got him at that point. You're just
that sounds fun.
Yeah.
You're breathing so hard that in your mind, that turkey can hear you from 50 yards away.
The heat, your heart's beating. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it literally, it's not, but you're trying to calm your breathing down. You're trying to get your heart rate down. And I mean, that thing, yeah. And to have a brain the size of a pea, and they can outsmart you in about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I chased a bird when I was in high school. I chased that thing for 3 springs, and I never did kill him. He won the battle. He got me on that one. But that was what really started driving me is the challenge of it. Now, some birds come in hot. I mean, you get a bird that's hot. Last year, the first one I killed, man, I mean, I was walking and calling, walking and calling. Finally located a bird. This was up in the day too. And man, I called 2 times and he was hammering. I sat down, and I mean, literally time I sat down and got situated, he was 40 yards standing in front of me. Like, bam. It was like I had him on a string. Of course, he took a dirt nap. He done the old flop. Can't stop the flop.
Can't stop the flop.
Yeah, buddy. But yeah, it's challenging. And it's, I love to be outdoors. I don't care. Somebody walked in my office. One of the guys I work with walked in my office last week, and I've got a big bulletin up on my wall, and it's pictures of me and Maddie and Tyler, Tegan, some of the guys that we've took on Freedom Hunters. I got Chris up there. I got Jason up there. And every picture on that bulletin board, which is the size of my wall, is hunting or fishing. I mean, that's it. Like, we're on the boat, we're trout stream, we're running the dogs, deer hunting. I mean, something there. He goes, man, he's like, you really love to be outside. And I was like, that's where I want to do. Like, I don't want to be in this office. I don't want to be in a patrol car 12 hours a day. I just like to be outside.
You're literally wearing a shirt right now that says fish more, work less, or worry less. There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
I am. And I'm not getting a fish because I'm putting on this school this week. So I can't trout fish. And then this weekend I'm going to Charleston. And then next week I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but you're going, now you're going fishing while you're in Charleston. I already got the scoop.
Yes, we are. I'm blessed. So, and I'm taking every cooler that I have, because whatever we catch is coming back to Virginia to be put on the grill.
Yeah, there you go. What are you guys going to fish for down there? That's
I don't know. I told Anthony, whatever we catch, as long as they tell me it's eatable, it's going in the cooler. I don't have a clue. I don't know, really.
Hey, let me ask you something, Heath. If I brought you some python liver, would you eat it?
Look at him. Look at him.
I don't know. But I know a guy that will. We'll just hook it up with Alex. Alex is and everything. Like, come on, Alex, tell us what this is like. You give me some python liver, I'll hook it up. I don't know.
That was a shameless plug to invite Python Cowboy to take us hunting. But Chris, would you eat the python liver? He said it's nasty. Would you eat it?
Oh yeah, I'd try it.
Yeah, me too.
I've eaten freaking rats.
You've eaten rats, Chris?
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. Hey, that's a big step for you.
Well, it was like a revenge type thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's like, you bastards, I'm gonna eat
you.
a
dare gone bad's what that was.
Huh?
It was like a dare gone bad's what that was.
No,
I have two, but just the legs.
We had to trap and eat our own food in a survival school that I went through in the Marine Corps, and I snared a rat with booby trap wire. I made the locking mechanism out of a Copenhagen lid can. Yeah,
nice.
Yep,
crafty.
Yeah. So had it all laid out there, and I caught this rat, and then you had to eat what you caught.
What was that school called?
What was it called?
What was the school called?
Yeah, it was just a survival.
Oh, a survival school.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I thought I'd heard a specialized kind of survival school. My brother went through one.
There's a SEER.
That's the one he went. Yep.
Yeah, SEER training, survival, evade, something and evade or something, escape and evade or something. I can't remember all of it. Been too long. That's the one. All those acronyms. Yeah.
He said that was the longest he'd ever went without food. He went like 4 days without eating.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, man, after 4 days, he's like, I would eat a mountain of python livers. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
I mean, he didn't say that, but that was the sentiment.
Your brother was a Marine, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Isn't he a Marine?
Hey, was a Marine?
Yeah.
Is a Marine. He always will correct you.
Yeah. And I should too. It's just, yeah. It's like, what kind of Marine was he? Once a Marine, always a Marine.
He was an Osprey pilot. So he flew
kidding.
Yeah, the ones that start off as helicopters and turn into planes mid-flight.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, that was after my stay in the Uncle Sam's Misguided Children. Yep.
Yeah, one thing I was thinking, you guys are, I didn't mean to bring this back to the turkey hunting, but I was really enjoying that because I was there when you guys were talking about it, like in my head. But I can only imagine, I've called in bull elk, and there's something so exhilarating about calling animals in,
Yep.
And so I think that's what I would find most alluring about turkey hunting is that when you call in a rutting bull and he's just snorting and bugling and peeing all over himself and running up right to you. It's crazy. I mean, this is a forest horse running right up to you, just going insane, slobbering everywhere. So they're a lot easier to hide from than a turkey. And so that's what I think would be so alluring about turkey hunting is you got to be super stealthy because they see color and they have incredibly sharp vision, and elk really doesn't. But yeah, I would really, I need to, okay.
Will Primos, it does connect because Will Primos, he made turkey calls and he made elk calls, so.
I think
the Hoochie Mama was a Primos call.
It was, and that was all the rage for a while. You couldn't even talk about elk hunting without the Hoochie Mama.
Oh yeah.
And now they say it makes the elk run away because it was so overused.
Right.
But I it's so funny. I live in one of the best elk hunting destinations in the United States, and I don't elk hunt.
See,
that's another bucket list, Seth. A bucket list. Like my list is long.
I worked on the I worked on the Mescalero Apache reservation, and so when we were working out deep in the reservation, there's nobody out there, nobody, and those elk are so naive. I am not a good elk caller. Never said I was, but I had a bugle, and it was a great way for me to learn because those elk were so naive. This was back in the flip phone days. I bugled, and this elk bugled up on the wall, because we were down in a canyon working in the trout streams, and this elk bugled, and I was like, oh, cool. So then I bugled again, and then another elk bugled on the other wall, and I was like, oh, sweet. And so I kept bugling. Those two bulls came down, met each other, postured at each other for about 20 minutes, and then came down into the stream and engaged each other. And I got that on 1 megapixel video with this flip phone. You can't even tell what's going on. I didn't care. I got that battle on video, and it was so awesome to have those elk fighting 200 yards away from us. That was so cool. That was one of the neatest things. And there was a guy with us, and he had almost no experience outdoors. And this was in September when the elk were rutting. And an elk bugled off in the distance. This is earlier in the morning. And he goes, what was that? And I was like, I looked super alarmed. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what that was. And he was like, oh my goodness. And then another one bugled later. Yeah. And then I was like, I think that's a person screaming. And that guy was freaking out the whole time. And then I was like, I'm just kidding, man. They're elk. And then he calmed down, but he wasn't too happy. We freaked him out pretty bad, but it was a good time. It was a good day. It was a cool day.
All right. So it seems like we're stuck on this topic. So I got to ask you this, Heath. Can you owl hoot?
Oh my Lord. The barreled owl.
Do it now.
Do you have to use a call? Or do you owl hoot?
I do.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Man.
Right, calling you out on the podcast.
Oh Lord,
man, that owl sounded just like a Virginia redneck.
Yeah. Hey, we were so poor when I was kids. You didn't buy calls. You had to learn how to do it with your mouth. And then your mom would tell you to be quiet because you was making too much noise.
Yeah. So, all right, can you mouth call turkey in too without a call?
My dad is a lot better than I am, but I could make one put his head up probably.
I can do that. I can make one put its head up. My son, my son Jacob, he could call one in with his mouth, and he's been killing turkeys since he was a little bitty kid. But he won't do it. He won't do it when he's out hunting with me because he gets nervous. Yeah, but if he goes out by himself, when he was 9 years old, I get this picture. I was out working. I get this picture on my text message on my phone, and it's a picture of Jacob in the rain after he'd killed this turkey when he was 9 years old. He saw it walking across the field, and he got up above it and right where he needed to be, and mouth called it in and whacked that sucker. It was awesome. Yeah.
That's rad.
Yeah.
That is rad. I bet that was really cool.
I put that one above the. Have you ever seen the picture that I took or that was taken of me with all 18th century gear?
Yes. I was going to ask, is that a fowling piece?
Yeah. Well,
Nice.
it's a Virginia smooth rifle. So Heath would appreciate this. A Virginia smooth rifle. It's a exact reproduction built by Mike Brooks. It's a flintlock, and every piece of gear I had on me that day was 18th century approved. You know, past muster there. So
nice.
Called that turkey in with a wing bone call and
nice. You don't see those much anymore.
Yeah.
Dang, that's rad. Wait, a wing bone call?
Mm-hmm.
I actually made my own at one point in time.
I did too. Yeah, that's the one I used.
That is awesome. How are they made? Okay, this is a complete noob here. I'm a fan as much. I'm just lucky that I can ask you live. How do you make one?
Well, you got to have a turkey wing.
That's right. There's a first part.
Wait,
thing you gotta
have.
Every turkey's got 2 calls in it.
Is that it? You literally just blow through the wing bone?
Yeah. So you take the bone closest to the shoulder where it attaches to the main body.
Okay.
And then you use that bone, and it's a little bit bigger, and it's got a natural bell end on it. And then you take the next bone down, and it'll actually slide up through. If you take the bone closest to the body, you can slide it all the way through. And then you've got a 2-section call. And then if you want to get real fancy, then you can use a wing tip and slide it all the way out too. So they all just fit together.
So it's a friction call or a mouth?
No, it's a mouth call. And you suck on it. Yeah, you suck. You actually have to. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't got anything.
Okay, hey, no, I'm throwing this out to the fans. If you guys have a wing bone call, I want to see a fan playing it and post it on the Houndsman XP group. That's what I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
Play it. Show us the wing bone call. That's cool.
Yeah. Like I said, I haven't seen one of those in years. My great
how'd you make yours? How'd you make yours, Heath?
So you took the bone, right? Yeah, we're showing it on.
Yeah, we're showing it.
Y'all can see it. Took the main bone, and then if you trim it down, you can make it different pitches by the different lengths.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing you're doing. Yeah,
and scrape it on the outside. You scrape it with a knife on the outside, and you can change the pitch
of it
of the call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but my great granddad showed me that.
Yeah.
Telling you, boys, we was pouring them in them mountains over here. We didn't have that stuff.
That's cool. You're gonna be like, and back in my day, we took our own slate and our own wood.
Oh no, you didn't use wood. You use that stuff for building. You use a land terrapin or a box turtle shell and make it
a turkey femur.
My dad. So I still have. Dad had a world champion Lynch box call, and I still have that call today. I think it was made in '73. And I still carry it in my vest today. And it's one of the best sounding, and I don't use it a lot. But I still carry that call with me every time I hunt.
Huh. Are you guys big diaphragm call users?
Mm-hmm.
Pa-ching.
Oh,
right there.
People use diaphragm calls for coyotes and elk here like crazy. And I just like using them because they're tough. I mean, they take practice to really master them. Oh,
yeah. So I bought these. I had a gift card for Bass Pro for Christmas. Of course, I bought a bunch of fishing stuff, and I had like $15-20 left over. And I'm like, I was just scrolling through there, and I'm like, okay, old bone collector, old Michael Waddell had put these on there. And I'm like, I wonder if they're any good. So I bought a 3-pack of them. I think it's $17. And 2 of them I really like. In fact, I've laid them here because I've been using them. Been aggravating Vice today. Every time I get on one, he's cocking that head, looking at me like, "What in the world are you doing? What is that noise coming out of your mouth?" But yeah, I'm going to use the white one. I think I'm going to try to use it. And you get fond of the calls that you use and that work,
mm-hmm.
and have good sound. But yeah, I've got Like I said, they were laying right here because I've been practicing with them. So
Let's hear one.
oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's hear it from an amateur that cannot judge you 100%. I know what a turkey sounds like, but let's see. We're gonna have Heath Hyatt put one in. Here we go.
Yep. It may be loud. So.
Nice.
The dog, he's over here. Like, what are you doing?
He's busting out turkey calls over here, Chris.
Yeah, I heard it. Got me back to the mic. I heard that.
I don't carry an owl call. I do my own, and I don't carry a crow call. I do my own.
Nice.
So that's stuff
it
may sound like a dying crow.
We're gonna do it. We gotta do it. We're gonna have an owl hooting contest.
An owl hooting contest.
Yep.
What species of owl is it?
Barred owl.
Yeah, I don't know what a barred owl sounds like. So I'm really looking forward.
Biologist, right?
We don't, dude. First of all, barred owls don't live here. Secondly, I've explained this right now. No disrespect to my ornithologists out there, but birds suck. I'm a mammal guy.
They're a superior life form.
They're not. They're an inferior.
They eat your rabbits. So
that's why I hate
them. They're superior.
Yeah.
False. They're just paying
the food chain.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hear it.
Let's bust one out. Bust it out, Heath.
I got to move my mic because I'm afraid I'm going to blow it up.
Yeah, I hear you. All right. Are you clapping? You clapping, Seth?
Yeah, it sounded good to me.
There we go. I got an audience in New Mexico.
Yeah, that's right. All right, here we go. Barred out.
Tell him, Seth. Wasn't no comparison.
They're out there. There's one lit in the tree out here
well,
right
maybe
now.
you should go out there and get him to holler.
When I did that reel a couple weeks ago, people were like, "Wow."
They were like, they looked up.
Yeah, I got like 100 new followers out of that owl hooting reel I made a couple weeks ago.
So, okay, I know that they why do they gobble at an owl or a crow? Is it just because it's a loud noise? Because I've heard you can just honk your horn and they'll gobble.
That's a shock gobble.
Yeah. They will.
Yeah.
They will flat get with it.
They will.
That was Chris's prison name, Shock Gobble.
That's right.
All right. Yeah. Hey.
So they'll do
guys.
the same thing. They'll do the same thing at Thunder, or like I used to pull up somewhere. They'll do it on a coyote howl.
I wonder what that's all about.
Yep.
I wonder why they do that.
I don't know. They're just like, everything's built. I think it's like this. Everything is so built up in them. They're waiting to come off that roost early in the mornings and just let it rip. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I'll do that. So I could pull up and down a lane where I turkey hunted and hit my air horn on my siren and just, and man, they'll just blow up.
Huh.
Geese. Let me tell you one of my secret tricks. And I don't know where I learned. I was reading a magazine. This has been years ago. And when turkeys are late in the season and they're hard to get to gobble, and especially this works better for me. It's worked better for me up in the day. You know what I carry with me to get them to shock gobble?
The Mark Drury silent dog whistle.
Well, it's not Mark's. It's the one that I've been using for years. But yes, I carry a dog whistle with me.
Really?
And I'm telling, yes.
What'd they call that thing?
I don't know what his is. I really don't know. But I got a dog whistle years ago, and I read it in a magazine, and it might have been him that actually I read. I don't know where I got it from, but I started carrying one of those in my vest. And sometimes when I get bored or I just don't have nothing, I'll bring that thing out and it hits that pitch. And I'm telling you, the first time I did that, I about fell over because I thought they were full of baloney.
Okay, when you say dog whistle, do you mean like dog whistle? You mean the one that you can't hear in
The one you
audible dog?
can't hear, the silent dog whistle.
That's
The one that-
crazy.
the
I
one
never
that
would have
Barney-
thought that.
The one that Barney Fife blew on that episode
Yeah.
of Andy Griffith's show. You really need to get cultured, Seth. I know that's way past your genre there. But
Look,
there's a
I'll
lot
tell
of
you
life-
about
there's a lot of
javelina.
life. Yeah, there's a lot of life lessons in Andy Griffith's show. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, I'm
don't
about as
watch
cultured
Andy?
as Velveeta.
Yeah. Barney, I
You don't
wouldn't
watch
blow that
TV?
whistle. Barney, he don't like that whistle.
What'd you say, Heath?
You've never watched Andy?
Dude, I watch TV probably. I've been with my wife for 10 years almost, just a shade under. And I think I've sat on that couch in this home maybe 25 times. I don't watch TV. And it's nothing
Yeah,
against my TV watching brethren.
You don't watch Andy Griffith?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't watch
how do
anything.
you,
don't
do you
start.
know? You've got to YouTube it, Google it, whatever you got to do, Spotify, whatever you've got to watch an episode of Andy.
Okay.
And I mean, you think about this. This was back in the 50s, and that show still airs today. That's how pure it is. And
It's the longest running syndicated series ever produced.
Whoa.
Yeah.
and within an hour and 15 minutes of my house, I can be in Mayberry.
Yep. It's just
They
down
have
the
a
road from
festival.
Raleigh.
Yeah, they have a festival every fall called the Mayberry Festival.
Huh.
And you can go down to it. It's right here, right off the mountain, towards Cana, and like it's phenomenal.
Get out of there.
You just like
But you got to watch it.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished. As an employee of Houndsman XP, I will watch it.
It's addictive. You got to watch the original. Start at season 1, because after Howard Sprague and all those,
I don't like the color version.
when it got to the colored version, it went to
Yeah.
pot. You know,
Yep.
it just when the old black and whites with Andy. What's your favorite episode, Heath? Of Andy
Oh my
Griffith?
Lord! Holy cow! I mean, there's so many lessons in those, like life lessons, and the
Mr.
stuff.
McBeavy.
Mr. McBeavy, the bear, the bear gets in the mayor, and the mayor was crazy. I didn't like that mayor.
I didn't know.
I think some of my favorite episodes are with Bobby Fleet and the band with the beat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and old Roscoe
he-
P. Coltrane
Yeah,
What's his
Roscoe
name?
P. Coltrane. Yeah.
was playing the guitar.
Yep.
But Andy, every time he comes to town, Andy like gets him some way or somehow. I like those.
What about the
I like-
Darlings?
Well,
The-
yeah. The one where they put Barney in the dress and have to marry him off because Ernest T.
Ernest T. It's me. It's Ernest T.
Ernest T. Yeah. The Darlings are pretty good. Yeah. I mean, they're all good. Like I mean, they're all good. I've seen every episode 100 times, and I could sit here tonight and watch them again.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
We
yeah.
call them, we referred to them as training videos, for law enforcement.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you got it. Seth's over there Googling Andy Griffith right now. He's like, who are they talking about?
I'm like, yeah,
Ernest
I was
T.
just letting you
Bass.
guys go for it. There was some
Yeah.
nostalgia there, and it was making my
Oh,
heart
my
swell.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about anything to do with hounds in this episode, or we just have an old home week and just talking about all stuff?
Well, I think that's the beauty
This
of
is like an all mixed up episode, is what it's like.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, but here's the thing, and this is the truth, dead set truth, you guys. I don't know when the last time you guys were on jury duty was, but I just got called to my first one this week, and I got selected to be on a trial. And
I'm on it every month.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, for it.
I got to be honest with you. Everyone always says it sucks. I actually had a great time, and not because it was fun, just because like I was really happy to be a part of something that like a citizen does in this country. And also I took it really seriously, not like where I was being lame, but just like, I took it seriously. I was paying attention. I took notes, I contributed a lot to the deliberation at the end, I felt. And man, the case was really dumb. I'm not going to talk about it, of course, but like, I was really surprised at how, well, I learned 2 lessons, and these are super broad lessons that I feel
Let me
like
ask you a question.
Go
Was
for
it civil or criminal?
I don't know what It was the battery of a home member.
Okay, criminal.
Yep. Yeah. And so I could not, it was very, very minor, but it was so convoluted. That's why I had to go to a jury trial. And but what I love is like I really liked all the like, you know, the rituals of the courtroom, you know, and I really liked it when a lawyer was like, objection. Like that's, you know, I'm not gonna lie, several times in my head I thought dong dong, you know, like Law and Order style. but one thing I think is the best lesson I learned 3 big time lessons from this, you guys. 1, dude, lawyer up. Do not take chances. We're dumb.
We're going to have to mute this part out.
Lawyer up. Because I think a lot of people had preconceived notions about the defendant just by looking at him. And man, that lawyer was really good. And I was like, wow, man, that guy really pulled some heavy weight. And 2, and this is one really important, get cameras in your house, people. Get cameras, because all of this could have been solved if the plaintiff just had cameras. That's it. That's all you need. Security cameras rock, and they can save your skin. And that was really the main 2 lessons that I couldn't stop thinking about.
I'm just going to set up my Tacticam reveal in my living room.
Trail camera?
Yeah, set up trail cameras in my house.
It's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's probably cheaper.
Yeah.
They only trigger when there's movement.
Yeah.
Here's something that everybody should know. You know, coming and being in law enforcement.
Yeah, there's 2 law enforcement guys here.
And how much things have changed over the past, just go from 2014. So the last 9 years, Seth, I can go get a warrant on you for anything. Like I literally can go to our process may be a little different than yours, but I can go to a magistrate and raise my hand and say, he beat me down. He punched me in the face. He did this. He did that. They're going to swear out a warrant. You're going to get, you know, brought in. You're going to have to post a bond or whatever. And then we go to court. And I would say a high percent, 80% of the time, it's mostly BS. And our system shouldn't be that way. There should be some repercussions for me taking out a warrant on you on something that never happened.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work.
So do you think my
way.
lawyer up advice is a good advice?
Well, I don't know if I should say this out loud.
Well,
you don't have to.
Hey, I'm retired, so I'll say it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's good advice. It is good advice to go ahead and get a lawyer. You know, I just had a houndsman call me probably a month ago that was involved in some stuff, and it was a game violation, and the conservation officers wanted to come and talk to him. I'll try to lay this out a little bit without revealing what the whole situation was. So the guy went hunting with another guy. They turn the dogs loose. The dogs run in there. The dogs go across the fence line. The 2 guys never cross the fence line. They never, according to him, they never go onto this property. The dog's tone broke. They get to the fence line. The dog's treed 20 yards beyond the fence. And so the guy that called me just tones his dogs back to him. And so he had called in and said that these guys were trespassing and wanted them prosecuted for hunting without consent and blah, 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 all this stuff. So I told this guy, is like, first thing you need to ask those officers is, am I the target of this investigation? Am I the target? Am I the main suspect? And if the answer is yes, say, I'm not talking to you. I'm just not going to talk to you. You know, you can talk to my attorney. I'm not going to give any statements, because I can tell you that 90% of the convictions that I ever got was because people talked. You know, I had all the evidence. I had all the information I needed. And now I want you to go ahead and say it, and say that you did this. And once you say that you did it, then boom, you're done. So I'm retired and I could say that.
Well, that kind of corroborated what I thought, because that's what the defendant did. He just boink, and he just had a lawyer talk for him. And I was like, smart, really smart. yeah, anyway, so I had a good time, and it consumed all my thoughts because I was really, really trying to be a good juror. And I'm glad it's over. But
which brings it back to, you remember the episode when Andy Griffith got the ticket from the game warden?
Yes, for not having his license.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah.
What is that light shining in our face? Is that your sun setting behind?
Yes, it's the sun setting. I'm trying to use my head to block. It is crazy bright. That sun sets right in that western window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my radiant personality.
Yeah. I thought, wow. Second comings, Seth's.
Yeah, it's
Are
there.
you there?
Jackrabbits.
Seth, are you there?
Yeah. I need a stuffed rabbit to come out right there. And then you'll see it. You'll get it. It's all going to make sense to you. When's the last time you guys saw something new that really, really surprised you? When it came, we're going to talk about hound hunting now.
Okay.
I can't stop thinking about this, you guys. When is the last time something happened to you in your pack, performance-wise, that your dogs are, consistent, and then something happens with the quarry that just blows your mind? And I can
tell you what it was for Heath. It was the day that Diablo ran with Spook and Kate. He was like, "Oh, you're crazy!" No. We were sitting there on the side of the road. I want to tell you what it's like to bear hunt with Heath.
He had them double couplered to my dog so they could keep up.
Let me tell you what it's like to hunt with Heath Hyatt. So Heath is, I'll meet up here, and then he slips off by himself, and he drives down through there, and he gets really annoyed if you stay too close to him, and he opens up. But as soon as he gets a bark, he turns those speed demons loose and just sends them through the country. And they just head out there like they got turbos strapped to their butt, and you pull up. If you're not right behind him, you pull up. It's like, "Hey, where's Spook and Kate?" And he's like, "Oh, they're topping the mountain." And there's no sense in turning loose at that point. Okay. So I happened to catch it one day where it was like, we got a rig strike, and I dropped my dogs, and then I was messing with him. I was looking at my Garmin, and I said, "Oh, look at that. Diablo and Cajun are right there with Spook and Kate." And Heath looked at me like he wanted to reach over and strangle me. He was like, "Oh, there's no, I'm not seeing that."
If you guys could see Heath's face right now.
To my defense, I had COVID. I had to walk out the mountain. I was not in a good mood. I probably took it out on the wrong people.
He took it out on Diablo. Kate was coming in heat, and Diablo was up there messing with him. And He's kicking my dog and beating on him and sending him down the mountain. And then he calls me a week later. He's like, "Hey, I think Kate's coming in heat."
He would not leave. I didn't kick your dog.
I know you didn't. I know you didn't. I wouldn't.
He would not leave her. I mean, he didn't care what was going on. It was wherever Kate was at, he was at, and she was
That's
like,
why he stayed so close. That's why. That's the only reason he stayed so close.
He's like, "I don't care about this bear at all."
He wasn't tracking bear. He was tracking.
Look, Kate. I don't blame him. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's awesome.
Little girl.
I got my socks blown off, you guys. I have 2 Salukis, and they're notorious for their endurance, right? And I still, to this day, how my 2 Salukis hunt is they just get in behind a hare, and they can't overpower it like a greyhound can and just get to turning it quick. They just get in behind him and just grind him to dust. I mean, until the race is going like 15 miles an hour. And my dog Comet, he is like a beast about getting in behind one at about 35 and just running it down. And he caught a 3-minute 40-second hare, which was amazing. I mean, I was like an animal, you know what I mean? And 2 weekends ago, we got up a hare, and it was a 4-minute 20-second race, and it literally, Comet stopped running, and I could not. That's the first time I've ever seen a Saluki get completely just outrun. And I've seen him get outrun by a hare, just get so far ahead of them that it can just lay down and hide, and then they just can't find it. Okay, that happens. That's how you get away from a Saluki. But to just outdistance him like that, I was just like, whoa. And that hare, Shane was with me. And Shane was just like, "Dude, that hare is not even close to done. Not even close. He still just, and he was gone. And Comet came to a stop, and so did Strider. And I was just like, damn. So then what did I say? I was like, oh, if I would have had the king, we would have caught him. If I would have had the king, we would have caught him. You know how we make excuses like crazy. So I brought out the king of the prairie the next weekend. This was a couple days ago.
Pronto.
Pronto. I went out to the exact same spot I jumped that hare because I use a
rematch.
Yes. And dude, within 12 feet of where I jumped that hare, I jumped him again. It had to be the same one. Turn all 3 out with the king, beats me again. And runs the exact same course. I know. And dude, and Shane and me were just like, all right, he earned it. I mean, like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I don't even care that I got beat. I was just like, that rabbit is injecting Wheaties. He's not eating his Wheaties. He's freaking injecting. You know what I mean? I think so. Anyway, I really can't stop thinking about what a freaking lord of the prairie that freaking rabbit is.
Well, I think that's one of the draws to hunting. You know, you go back to the red fern grows when you know, they were chasing the ghost coon. You know, it's like that one that can't be caught. That's what keeps you going back.
Dutch Salmon, he was a prolific writer, and he was a serious Western hare courser. He wrote in his book, Gaze Hounds, that he believes that some hares are uncatchable. And when I had my A-team pack, I was like, no, they'll catch him. You know what I mean? No, yeah. I do believe him. Jokes aside, I do think some are just uncatchable. I mean, he had perfect footwork, a great game plan, and just strong, just great speed, tons of distance. It was just a really awesome hare.
You ever seen bear like that, Heath?
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think there's animals like that in every species. Yeah, there's bear that we don't catch. There's bear that we catch, and they're able to get away from you. Was it Chad? Chad had posted a video of a bear climbing through a rock cliff, and it wasn't his, but he had copied it from somebody and posted it. And I tried to redo it, and I couldn't get it to come up. But you know, it's stuff like that make you sit back and like, yeah, they got you there. I mean, they've got you.
I was so impressed.
But, yeah, I believe that's with every species. But you know what's interesting? So what you're telling me, Seth, and what I'm thinking, what's going through my head is, how old is that rabbit? How many times has he been run to be able to do those things? I mean, that's not a newbie. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly when I told my mentor and my really close friend, he was like, no way. He's like, that rabbit has seen our dogs before, or for whatever reason, he just got the right brain between those big, beautiful ears. And I knew he was going to be special because when I jumped him the first time, a lot of times they get up and then try to hide. And dude, no, he came up and just ripping like 100 miles an hour with his ears down. And I was like, whoa. All right. So anyway, you're right. There's so much cool stuff to think about what happened in his life to make him such an extraordinary athlete and thinker. Because under pressure, he was just so smooth. And I was damn.
I'm going to take some of our verbiage here because, you know, I'm in the hound world and I'm teaching this tracking school this week. And there's two things y'all have used in the last 2 minutes that I have told this class already this week. So when we talk about suspects running, I call them rabbits because they just run and run and run and run. So they're rabbits. They're hard to catch. And when I teach my class and that portion on it, that's how I kind of present it to them. And then you said ghost, the red fern grows. I have seen 2 dogs ghost track today, which means they were tracking who knows what because they weren't going where the suspect went. So, you know, that's a part of training. We have to tweak it and get it better. But we call it ghost tracking. And a lot of times that's when the dog is pulling sled dog style. That just kind of gives everybody a mental picture of it. The dog's just pulling. The handler goes with them without ever checking the dog to make sure he's in the correct profile. Profile means that he's showing me body language that I would recognize as him being in odor. So we done some ghost tracking today. And while we were ghost tracking, I was able to find a beautiful 6-point shed. So, you know, while we were off tracking ghosts, I found the shed and had 6 points on one side. It was beautiful. I stayed in there a little bit too long looking for the other side, the other half of it. But I did get some shed hunting today. So we call them rabbits. They run and run and run. And our rabbits are straight liners. Boom, they gone. That's what you're saying too. That's exactly how you're explaining that. So It's so funny that I knew nothing about rabbit hunting, and yet I'm able to intertwine that terminology into what I'm doing.
Well, except when you look at this whole thing, though, you're not mad. This is the beauty of being a houndsman and being a hunter. You're not mad that you got outran. You're amazed.
I was amazed.
And when you get defeated, we like to see the wildlife win. I mean, it's like, look at that thing go. That is awesome. To think that these highly skilled, tuned hounds that we're using to catch this game, it's fun when they win. Occasionally we go back to the truck and we feel defeated, and you might dwell on it, but if you're throwing the stuff around and you're mad about that you're looking at it wrong. It's like you just witnessed a thing of beauty and majesty, and it's something to behold. When that happens.
My mentor, one of the most respected people I know, her name is Karen Lanero. I texted her and told her, I was like, you will not believe, but a hare just outlasted Comet, and it was like 8 feet in front of him for 3 minutes straight, and they were just locked in a duel. And she goes, no, I can believe that. And it's good for them it's good for you to get outrun. And it's also awesome when that happens, because that hare is going to go breed and make more hares that in turn make our hounds better. Because if they were all easy to catch, we wouldn't have world-class hounds. And I was like, dang.
It's especially good for you to get outrun.
You know what's so funny? I don't know if you guys know this about me or not, but I'm kind of animated, especially when my speed dogs are after a hare. And
no doubt.
You wouldn't. Really? I don't know if you knew that about me or not. But anyway, Shane is not. He's a very chill guy. And both of us, when Comet came to a stop, when Comet literally just ran out of steam, we both just looked at each other with our jaws down, and we were just like, did that just happen? And it was amazing just to see Shane too. He was just like, whoa. So anyway, that was cool.
Well, good deal, man. It's getting close to Heath's bedtime. And
my dinner time.
Yeah.
So what did we miss? Any final thoughts? Seth, you got any final thoughts on this all mixed up, point blank, whatever it is?
Stay tuned, everyone. There's a lot of cool stuff in the pipelines. By the time this airs, one of them is already done and another one is about to commence. So stay tuned, everyone. Patrons, stick around. There's going to be some cool video content for some pretty famous guys and some pretty cool people. So I'm really excited to bring that to everyone. Stay tuned.
Heath, you got any wood to throw on the fire here?
Yeah, I mean, I've got some really good podcasts coming up. Man, I've been really blessed to be introduced to people that when I sit and talk to them, I'm like, crap, man, I don't know anything. So I've got a couple of those guys coming up. Seth, I got a bucket list. Elk, turkey, I got that list. We got to make it happen.
Game catcher, you draw, I'll take them right to you. I'll take you right to them. I know where they are.
But so let me ask you a quick question, because I've been to New Mexico and hunted twice. Mm-hmm. We went cat hunting, dry ground hunting out there at Lake Roberts with.
Okay. I was going to say big state. Tell me, give me a region. Yeah.
Lake Roberts.
Yep.
Got to see the Ben Lilly Memorial.
Yep. Okay. He's a legend.
Right,
I've been in one of his lean-tos. I stayed the night in one of his lean-tos out in the Gila Wilderness, actually. Cool. Anyway, continue.
So do you don't have to have a guide, or do you have to have a guide?
Nope, you don't.
I just have to draw a tag.
Yeah, and the deadline's tomorrow, so you should put in.
Yeah, I'm gonna get all right on that. I'm trying to draw in Iowa right now.
If you need help, call me.
In Iowa?
No, in New Mexico. I'll just help you put in for units. I can't obviously help you draw.
Yeah. So my brother-in-law, this is crazy. My brother-in-law is from Iowa. His family's still up there. They've got a very nice farm in a very good location. And I was looking at the units and everything, and to draw up there is almost impossible. Like almost impossible. And I'm like, man, I've been wanting to hunt up there for years because they kill some monsters. And I mean monsters.
He's salivating, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I'm telling you. Like, I don't get excited over deer. Those deer get me excited. Like, I want to kill one. So I'm trying to draw there, which I have to wait till May to do that. But I may look that up tomorrow and see.
Yeah. Well, if you draw, I'd love to have you out here, bud. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take you to some good spots.
Bad. Yeah.
Yeah. The drawing is so hard, dude. That's one of my favorite things about hound hunting is we don't have to draw. And man,
can we run elk sounds? I'll bring mine right on out.
Yeah, no, I wish. But yeah, well, put in. And if you draw, I'd be more than happy to take you out. And I'll give you some tips for sure.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk. Yeah, for sure.
There you go.
Chris, you got any final thoughts, brother?
Well, my final thoughts are make sure you're visiting houndsmanxp.com. And, you know, all of our sponsors are right there. I can't tell you, I talk to these people a lot. And I can just tell you that they're all solid, good people that believe in preserving this lifestyle that we all enjoy so much. And just want you to support them. You know, they really are in it to win it, and they're there to support you. So ask you to support them. Make sure you're checking out our website there as well, because it can take you to Patreon, and Patreon is one of the main ways that we support this show, keep the lights on. And I'm telling you, you know, you're like, well, yeah, well, Seth needs some walking around money when he goes to hunt hogs and he goes and does that stuff. And that's what helps us bring this good content back to you, is by supporting this show. So it's always free. And there's no doubt about that. You can listen for free. You can be a freeloader if you want, or you can go over to Patreon and support the show that is always in the fight for you. And that's kind of what led me to this part was, you know, we've dropped a bunch of podcasts the last week and a half or so, and it's all about hound hunters' rights. All of it is about hound hunters' rights. We had Ivan Carter last week. Heath, what did you run last week? You ran
Mike Leonard,
who had a lot of good stuff to say and a very insightful guy. We had TL Jones this week on Monday show. We had Corey Huntsman from the Utah Houndsmen Association. And so we're not going to stop talking about that stuff. It's important. I don't care. It doesn't do any good to talk about training dogs and breeding better dogs and genetics and how dogs' nose work if we can't use them. And so we're not going to stop talking about it and keeping you informed and giving you those talking points that you need. So please support us. And we're going to have the Houndsman XP shop. There's a couple things in there right now. It's coming up quick, and that should be online here before too long. So that's all I got. That's my sales pitch after this fun episode. I appreciate you guys taking time to have some good times and some good laughs today.
Yep. Yeah, I had a great time. Hey, patrons, I just want you guys to know on the Patreon page, there's a lot of awesome bonus content there. Not to mention you're in the drawings every month. You're in the runnings to get sweet merch from our prize drawings. So the bonus content alone is it's a lot of fun. I enjoy producing that, and I get a lot of really awesome guests. So yeah, go check it out.
I spend more on Copenhagen in a couple months than I would spend on a Patreon membership for the year. You know, so
you probably spend more on Cope in 1 week than you do on a Patreon month.
I might, but don't tell my wife. She doesn't listen to this podcast anyway. But yeah, you're right. I might. But I mean, you think about it, when you join us at that top tier level, it's going to cost you $144 a year. Automatically, you're going to get a $70 value back from the Sportsman's Alliance. And plus all the cool giveaways we do every month. The semi-annuals between, what is that? Seth?
June. The semi-annuals
3 to
are done on
500?
June and December, and those are for our mid and top tier patrons, and that is a $500 value.
Yep. And then the annual is up to, I think didn't we do $1,000 last year?
$1,000 giveaway.
Yeah.
So think about that. I mean, that's
plus discount codes. Discount codes.
Deeper discounts for everyone. There's a lot to it. Lot to it. So thank you guys to whoever has joined us, and go check us out. I think you'll like what you see.
We appreciate every one of our patrons, and we try to return the favor as much as we can. So guys, that's all I got. I appreciate your time. Thanks for listening to the Houndsman XP podcast. This is Fair Chase.